Hi and hello everybody, it's Fer and welcome back to another Planty video. Thank you so much for joining me for this plant supply cart tour, I suppose. Yeah, this is just going to be a more relaxed video. I'm going to be showing you everything that I keep on this rolling cart. This is what I use to store a lot of my fertilizers and smaller supplies that I use on a semi-regular basis. So I will roll this out when it's watering the day or when I'm working on plant chores. For a while I was so bad at actually rolling this out. I would just like walk back and forth. And then a couple of months ago, I was like, you need to train your brain to actually roll this out. And that's what I've been doing. And it is so nice to just have everything at my fingertips that I need when I'm caring for my plants. I typically go through this and do like a clean and refresh a couple of times a year. I last did probably a couple months ago now for a Patreon video. So I think that everything is like pretty up to date. It's not too crazy, so it's a good time to kind of show you everything that I have on here. And yeah, I feel like yapping, so we're just gonna hang out and look at all of these planty things. I do also have a cloth and a duster on hand because some of these things are dusty. This lives in the bathroom, which is kind of annoying. There's just nowhere better to store it, but bathrooms are so dusty with like the bathroom fan and stuff. So yeah, I can just like give things a wipe as I go. Anywho, let's get into it. So on the top level here, I have this glass jar which houses my stakes, my straight stakes. So I have these kind of curly metal ones. They just have like that circle at the top. That's where you put the stem in. I like these ones for like anthurium and alocasia. And then I also just have these straight stakes, which I typically use for begonias, but also alocasia and smaller anthurium as well. But I just like to keep them all together in here. Oh, and I do have this stake. I need to choose a new plant to put that in. Probably a begonia, honestly. And then I also have this little thing to measure out my liquid fertilizer. This works really great to just keep all of these like long, slender items together and organized. The top level is where I have most of my fertilizers, except for some of my larger backups that I pour into these ones. But we have kelp-based fertilizer that I use for my soil plants, specifically my Hoya. I find that they really like it, and I can't say that it helps them bloom because I don't know for sure, but I notice when I use this, I get a lot of Hoya flowers. Monosilicic acid. It's silica or silicone for plants. I bought this and have never used it because I'm scared. It's supposed to decrease browning on variegated plants. So maybe I will try it out one day, but you're supposed to, there's like a specific method of mixing it up and you're supposed to check the pH and everything, and it just seems like a headache, to be honest with you, so I have not tried it yet. I have the tiniest bit of this GrowTech fertilizer left. This is expired and I've been trying to use it up for a long time, but I am at the very bottom now, so getting close. The fertilizer that I'm currently using is from Nurture System, the #1 Power Grow. It's just a liquid fertilizer concentrate. I really like this. I'm gonna have to find where I can buy this in Canada, like where it actually has it in stock, because I think it can be kind of hard to find, but I'll probably use up all of the liquid fertilizer that I have currently, and then once I need to repurchase, then I will go back to this one. Because I have just been getting insane growth on my plants since I've been using this. Like leaf size is crazy. I also do have so many plants in bloom right now, and everybody is just doing really well. So yeah, really enjoying this so far. This is Seagrow. I use this to fertilize my carnivorous plants. I have some Bios here. This is a natural organic fertilizer, and it creates like a fuzzy layer on the soil because it's introducing healthy fungi. This is actually a good reminder for me to use this. It's a perfect time of year to get this in some of my soil plants. I love bouncing around and using different fertilizers, if you couldn't tell. I also have the yucca extract and the probiotics from Bios as well. And I just always forget to use these, if I'm being completely honest. So, and they're so short in here as well. I need to like, maybe I'll put them in the basket or something, because I just am always forgetting. This is also from Nurture System, but this is their mycorrhizal inoculant. I have used this a couple of times when repotting plants. I think when I repotted some of my anthurium last month, and those are all doing really well so far. So another kind of thing that I will forget to apply, so need to keep it in mind. This is just a general purpose fertilizer. I actually typically use this for the flowers out on my deck in the spring and summer, which I am going to be planting up sometime soon. I don't have flowers out there right now, but I do want to do that soon, and I guess it's just convenient to have it on this cart rather than having it in the basement where the rest of my garden supplies are stored. I know this seems like an insane amount of fertilizers probably, but this is, you know, my biggest hobby, and I have like 120 plants in here. Anywho, my Schultz cactus fertilizer, I use this for my cactus and succulents. I was gonna say during the growing season, but when the ones that I keep under grow lights in the winter time, I will give this to them in the winter as well. This is another mycorrhizae thing. And then we have my Miracle Grow 2020, which I used to use to make orchid spray, which I have not done in a long time. I used to spray my Hoyas with that. Now I actually have orchids, but I've never made the spray for them. I use this sometimes in a pinch if I don't feel like measuring out my liquid fertilizer, because there's just a scoop in here. And yeah, I've had this for years now, and I've just slowly been using it up. This little cup just has another little pipette. I use this to get my Super Thrive out of the bottle. This is what I use sometimes for repots, especially if it's one that I'm concerned about, like a chop and extend, because that's just a lot of stress on a plant. And I also use this for propagations, and it lasts a really long time because you don't need a lot, you only need a few drops. So yeah, keep those together. This is another thing that has been sitting on here because I just always forget to use it. Like I forget that I have it, but I had multiple bottles of this and then I combined them all into this one. It is the Sacred Elements Sacred Soil Tonic. They make like natural plant care products, and they always smell really nice as well. I wonder if this one still does. Yeah, it still smells good, honestly. So I need to really lock in all of these things that I have to use up. I've just collected so many things over the years. All of these bottles here, which really need to be dusted. These are my General Hydroponics Flora series, and the General Hydroponics CalMag, and the General Hydroponics Diamond Nectar, I think it's called. And those come in larger bottles that are stored with my plant supplies, and then I just fill up these pump bottles because it was so messy and annoying to like pour from those fertilizer bottles into measuring spoons. So if you have liquid fertilizer and you want to make it easier, I just measured out like how many pumps it took for the amount that I typically need, and it just made it so much less painful to mix up all of these different fertilizer components. So yeah, such a great like hack if you get annoyed at your liquid fertilizer. Like I said, right now I'm using the Nurture System, and this is just one thing, so it's not annoying like those ones are. But I do still have, I mean, some of these are kind of empty, but I do have refills. Actually, probably not of this one. This is the Diamond Nectar. I think I'm completely out of that, but I think I have the rest of them with my plant supplies. And yeah, I'll use those up before I buy new fertilizer. I do like the General Hydroponics, like there's nothing wrong with it. It works great. But I have just been loving other things a little bit more, and also just considering how annoying it is to mix all of these up. Okay, this is actually perfect that I can just freshen everything up while I'm filming this video. Okay, that is it for everything on the top level, except for this little basket here, which I'll talk about in a second. Also, this cart itself, you can kind of buy these from anywhere. You can find them at IKEA, Michael's, probably like Walmart. I think that I got mine from Amazon, but it wasn't this exact one. I used to have a white one because that was all I could find for whatever reason. And then one of my friends had this cart in the black, and I was like, oh my God, I wish I had, I was like, I just bought one of those. I wish I had the black one though. And she was like, well, I wish that I had the white one. Like all of my, all the stuff in the room it was for was white. So we traded carts, and now I have this black one. But I'm assuming it was just from Amazon or something, honestly. It is very convenient to have though. This one I'm not even gonna bother washing because I'm gonna be using this up soon anyways. Let's put all of my little things that I need to use up in one area. Right there. Everything else can just kind of go wherever. Okay, so yeah, I have this little basket that hangs on the side, random plant Velcro there. I have an X-Acto knife. Sometimes I use that for propagation, or I mean, yeah, I guess mostly propagation when you need to be really precise in between tight nodes. I have this tiny little snipper. I actually really like this one, but it is just for small plants because it's so small. My like nice wood handled shears from Mossify are out in the garden right now, which is not great. I should bring them inside, but I noticed this morning that they were sitting out there. These are like my tried and true shears that you see me using all the time. They're literally just from the dollar store, you guys, and I've had these for probably like 6 years now, and they still work perfectly. And then I think these ones are also from the dollar store. They're just like a larger shear for a thicker stemmed plant that's hard to cut through. Those work great as well. I also use these ones outside in the garden sometimes. And then I just have a microfiber glove. I used to have a pair, now I only have one because the washing machine ate one. I don't know, it just disappeared. So I have my one singular glove, and I use that sometimes to clean plant leaves. Okay, moving on. What is this? This is just an empty spray bottle for, I don't know, whatever I might need that for. I had so many, and then when I decluttered this a couple months ago, I got rid of like probably 4 spray bottles because I was like, why do I have a million of these? Okay, so second tier here. This is command hooks, because y'all know I'm always using command hooks to guide my plants up the walls. My greening pins, which I also use all the time to attach my plants to poles, or like my Syngonium frosted heart up here, I'm using that to attach the stem into the core pole. They come in very, very handy. I honestly use these. This used to be full, and over the years I've just gone through so many. Super, super handy, and these are really cheap to find. This is one of those petiole things that hold all of the petioles together. Really good for alocasias that are really splaying out, or big anthurium. Like I have one of these keeping the petioles of my Lux hybrid together, and it works amazingly. In this container, I keep together my dragonfly clips and also different little things to attach plants to stakes that have come with like the different stakes that I've purchased over the years. So yeah, just like little clips, anything to secure a plant I kind of put in here. I also do have some of my S hooks as well, which I love to use for my climbing plants to keep the petioles nice and tight in. And yeah, that's pretty much all that's in there. This is the lid, which can actually fit on it right now, which is rare, but I must have a lot of dragonfly clips out in use right now. This second one I just kind of have as random storage. So I have some of my Scatus clips that I used to hang plants in my IKEA greenhouse cabinets. I have some plant charms, some suction hooks, like just anything that doesn't have a home. These are like the little pointy ends that can go on stakes, which is actually very useful. I did not know that I had these in here. All of my clear stakes are out in use right now. Oh, I have a smaller version of the petiole holder thingies. I think that these were from Houseplant Essentials, which is where I get a lot of my clear stakes and trellises and pots. This one also has a lid, which doesn't really fit on it right now because it's so full, but that's okay. Twine. This is one of my most used plant accessories, if you will. I use this to keep my begonias staked. I use this a lot out in my garden. Anytime I need to like secure a plant, like I think I just used it, oh yeah, with my command hooks as well. I use a little piece of twine because the plant stem is too thick to fit inside the command hook in most cases. So I just use a little piece of twine, and this stuff is just like super cheap and it lasts a really long time. I have a little thing of neem oil. I haven't been doing my DIY pest mix for the past several months because I'm using beneficials right now, but I just have this on hand for if I need to use that again. I have these tea bags for my mosquito dunks, which I have not used yet this year. I typically use these in my watering can, my electric watering thing that I use. I will let water soak for 24 hours with mosquito dunks, and then you water with that water and it kills the fungus gnat larvae, I guess. Is that how it works? I don't know. But it gets rid of fungus gnats, and it works pretty well also. So I still have some of those in here, and I have one that's already ready. I haven't seen any fungus gnats yet this year, so haven't needed to use this, but I've had that for years now. This is a random piece of wicking cord that is hanging out in here. And what else do I have? Weather stripping. For my greenhouse cabinets, I am actually going to be switching this out, giving fresh weather stripping. That startled me. There must have been either a deer or a cat in the yard. What was I talking about? I think I was just about to grab these. I don't even know what's in here. Magnetic hooks, I think. Yeah. These are little magnetic hooks. I use these to hang things in my greenhouse cabinet, like the fans and the like grid backing. And I also have used these on my Visto shelves to, I've hung plants off of it, or I've used it to like hold the plant vines a certain way. Or how else have I used it? I think that's pretty much it, actually. But they're very useful, and they're like strong magnets as well. And that is it for this tier. So the second tier is more like planty accessory kind of stuff. And securing plants, actually. I guess that would be the theme. We got the twine, we have the greening pins, all the dragonfly clips and everything, the petiole thing, yep. Command hooks, yep. And then the bottom tier, I guess the theme would be pest control. Let me bring you down here. So in the bottom tier we have, first of all, my bucket of Osmocote, which is nearing the end now. I actually have not used this in a little while. I used to use it pretty religiously in my Wally Grow planters, but I haven't been doing that as much lately because I've been using fertilizer water to water those. But some of my plants that just need an extra boost of nutrients, like my alocasia and begonias, sometimes I will supplement with a slow release fertilizer. So I just kind of keep this on hand for whenever I feel like I need it. This is my electric waterer, which is such a lifesaver because, oh my gosh, if you've ever had to spray a bunch of plants down with like a hand, like this kind of sprayer, it is a special type of hell. It's so miserable. Your hand will hurt. My hand hurts like immediately. So once I discovered that you could buy electric ones, it truly changed my life as a plant person. So like I said, I haven't been mixing up a pest spray lately. This is just full of water right now because I was actually using it to water some of my garden seedlings. without like soil flying everywhere. Are you trying to go by, sweetheart? What? Oh, I'll help you, baby. There you go. Anywho, yeah, this thing is amazing. I've literally only charged this like twice since I've had it as well. And I've had this for like 3 years. So that's wild. It holds a charge forever. Oh, this is the rest of that wicking cord. Where was that stray one? Right here. Yeah, this is just extra wicking cord for self-watering pots. There's some random twine and plant velcro down here as well. This is a pH test kit, which I literally never use, but I've had for so many years. I just keep it on the cart. I don't know. I don't ask any questions. This is a root stimulator and with fungicide. It's like a root growth hormone. This is my Safer's End All. This is what I used to use for pests sometimes when I wasn't doing my DIY mix. Specifically, this is what I used for flat mites because it is a miticide. So I do have some of that left over, and I also have neem oil left over. Diatomaceous earth, which I have not used in a while either. But that's like a natural pest control thing. This is tea tree Castile soap that I was using in my DIY pest mix. Same with this isopropyl alcohol. I do use this sometimes because I'll spot treat for mealies with isopropyl alcohol. And it's also handy for sanitizing shears in between cutting plants as well. Hydrogen peroxide. This was for my DIY pest mix that I was doing, but I also use it for root rot or suspected root rot, and it's really handy to get it in this spray version because you can just spray the roots really easily. And then lastly, we have an empty, I was like, what's in here? It feels so light. We have an empty container. So that is everything that we have on my plant cart. Anywho, that is it. A short and sweet one for today. Let me know if you have any further questions. And let me know if you also have a plant cart or if you store your supplies a different way. I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.